Well, the hope, Coach, was that these Florida showers would have passed through by now, but it looks like we're in for a wet one tonight at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready. Black, what is that? Check. 42's the mark. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Say.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing again on second down. Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Watch the pass. Hey, Mike's 42. Mike's 42. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that.
Now Winston. And that is incomplete.
Started to look like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Near his goal line, Brissett. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Brissett. And Diggs has it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
Now on 2nd and 13, Brissett. It's complete to Diggs. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings' 43-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game. Now Barkley stripped of the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost him.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Mike 42, Mike 42.
From the gun, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you can see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
Barkley unable to get away on the first down run as he'll be stopped for a loss of a couple. A loss of 2 there, second down. We know this offense, they're built around passing the football. That time, the running game didn't suit them so well.
Not so well, but they have to do it every so often. You have to be able to control the pass rush a little bit, make them somewhat hesitant before they come and get your quarterback. At least have the illusion that you have a running game.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Let's pick it up.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett gets us out to Saquon Barkley. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy most likely to bring him down. That was a nice game.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 43-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Keaton. You got 3. 3 down. 3 down. Watch 84.
Brissett sets to throw it. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw, Brissett, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the second quarter.
The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little slow to adjust their playbook and start playing to whatever their strengths are in these conditions.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Ready. Black 25. All day, dog. 5-0. What's tight? Here we go.
Jameis to throw it. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded just inside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a 1st down. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Ready. I got it. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Hey.
From the 41, Brissett. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, that all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Got a man. It's Brown. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Naeem Hines, his first carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stump that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Devin White, the rookie out of LSU, there to bat that one away. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. And this one is right through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, but it's going to be 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Wait. Check 42's the mic. Check 42's the mic. What's record? Start Mike 42. Let him know that.
Working out of the gun. Winston. And he completes it to Hunt. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Throwing, Winston. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Ready? You ready? 42. Army. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
On 2nd down now. It's Hunt, and he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to run with Hunt, and he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Kareem Hunt hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, and the Bucs have taken the lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Saquon Barkley running right. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. And he's able to find Diggs. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Nyheim Hines, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Winston being chased out left. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Here's Winston. That one is caught by Hunt. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Brissett. This will be caught by Brown. And down he'll go at the 25. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. 50 wants the mic. 50 wants the mic. Do that right now.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Jameis now just 7 of 16 passing thus far, but he's got a 1st and 10. Jameis again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On third down, Brissett. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. J.J. Watt, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Check, 42's the mic. We got it, we got it. Shift, watch the shift. Check three.
Winston. And Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
3rd and long for Winston. Airing this one out for Evans. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
Here we go.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
At the 31-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll run it again with Barkley. They find some open field here. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 53 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Hines. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll try to throw now. Brissett. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Winston. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
They run with Hines. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock. You control the ball. And that way, you often control the game.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Play fake. Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, let's get that ball, dude. Let's get that ball right here.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Let's bring it.
Here's Winston. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
O.J. Howard. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point safely through, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to. And right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score. But they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense.
Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call, because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They'll run again with Hunt. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. To throw is Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. They come up here on 1st and 10. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 50-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Check 50. Check 50.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Man open left side is Brown. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Barkley on first down, running into a wall as he stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
The Vikings on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw is Brissett. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Jameis to throw it. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. Winston now. Looking downfield for Godwin. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Now Saquon Barkley. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Barkley. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
To throw, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Ready? Black 25. Check. Mike 42. Go on. Come on, D. 42.
From the gun, Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, but it'll be second and goal. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Easy. Switch. Sonic. Hayward. Let's go.
On second down, it's Hunt. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
He's checking. Wait.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. They run with Barkley on first down, and he gets about 5 out of it. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Barkley, a short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go. Here we go. Touchdown. Man out, man out, man out, man out. Check, 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 check.
On third down, Barkley. And he works free. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20, 10, and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the pressure gets to him again.
And twice in a row, the quarterback goes down. This offense needs 2 scores, not giving up 2 sacks.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Throwing, Winston. Dancing to his left. This is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So the big play nullified, illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Minnesota, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8.